Greetings all. So, latest Transformers movie, Rise of the Beasts. What do we think? Well, it's not a movie to watch if you're a philosophy student looking for material for your thesis, or you're on an important date with a potential new partner and you really want to show your sensitive, emotional side. Let's accept it. It's a movie to sell more Hasbro toys from a new range. Right, and make money. $274 million box office, cost $200 million, so it achieved that. Right, the story. Story is a big setting. It is a world-devouring, planet-sized machine, Unicron, with it seems like some kind of magical powers, certainly able to reach out and control its minions in a magical kind of way. So the challenge is to prevent Unicron from obtaining the transwarp key, which allows anybody would allow it to travel through space and time, and therefore it can eat more planets more quickly. So this is where, on second glance, that doesn't make a lot of sense, because this Unicron thing can travel through space anyway to get from planet to planet, and time doesn't matter unless you're unfortunate to be next on the menu and you'd rather it was some other planet or it was a few hundred years later when it's not your generation. Okay, that makes sense. But otherwise, it's basically about a ticket for Unicron to allow an express all-you-can-eat buffet on a galactic scale. So that's the story. Characters: Anthony Ramos, Noah Diaz character. Not convincing initially. He's ex-military, but we don't see him in the military. He's kind of thrown into his hunt for a job, having left the military. So he seems a bit weak and unlikely hero. I guess the movie's already long, 120 something minutes, so they didn't have time for much exposition on him. But he comes across a bit like Captain America, the Avenger that can't fly, can't go into space, is not invulnerable. The one that's like the pain in the ass they have to drag along with you, until finally he basically gets an Iron Man suit from the remnants of the Autobot Mirage. Then he gets a bit more interesting, but he grows on you. I like him.
How big can this guy be?
He eats planets.
And I'm rooting for him, so I guess there'll hopefully be another one. Then BAFTA-nominated Dominique Fishback is playing Elena, the museum worker, the intern who knows all about the history, helps him solve the mysteries and find the rest of the transwarp.
This can't be real. This can't be real. Oh, okay, it's real.
Yeah, she brings some real character development. I mean, that's not much of a compliment compared to robots, but she's a non-traditional heroine type, and she's endearing, and she is, I think, inspiring. Good character choice there, good actress. I like it. There's some other kind of odd things in there as well, like Wheeljack, the Autobot, who's been down in South America allegedly for many years, but gets offended when Noah suggests that he might be able to speak Spanish, and even says he's being racist. Of course, a bewildered Noah is questioning, like, racist, but you're a robot. So I think it's nice that they take a dig at that stuff, that people are all too quick to play the race card these days and be offended about everything. So I think that's what they were doing there. If so, I applaud it, but it was a bit unclear. Of course, this movie's, let's talk about the additional toy range they want to sell. Oh, I'm sorry, I mean the complementary additional characters. Maximals, they're from Cybertron, so the Cybertronians, who are able to exist also in an animal form. So Apple, the gorilla, who was the first one, the leader, he sacrificed himself when Scourge, the chief baddie of Unicron, almost got the transwarp key, and he was a gorilla form. So he died, was destroyed. A new one took over, who called himself Optimus Primal, not Optimus Prime, which is the one we're familiar with, who converts into a truck. And he's the new leader, who's also a gorilla. And it gets very confusing. Even Scourge says at one point, "Didn't I kill you already?" So that's a bit unnecessarily complicated and too close, I think. So the premise is basically the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Humans and good robots must stick together to defeat evil, which they manage to do. They realize that they must work in common. They save the Earth by acting together. Oh. But the baddie's still out there. Unicron, still chomping his way through the galaxy, maybe the universe. So sequel time, obviously. And at the very end, in the interruption in the credits, Noah gets a job with G.I. Joe. Hurrah. Fun movie. Bayhem. Enjoyed it. Take the kids, have a laugh. It's all right.